You tell yourself it'll only take 5 seconds. Just one quick look. You unlock your phone, open Instagram, type their name, check their latest photo, see who liked it, maybe watch their story. Then you close the app and tell yourself, that's the last time. But somehow, a few hours later, you're back again. If you've ever done this, you're far from alone. In fact, after a breakup, millions of people secretly check an ex's social media, even when they know it's probably going to hurt. What's strange is that most people aren't expecting to find good news. Deep down, they already know what could happen. You might see them smiling, traveling, looking happy, maybe even with someone new. And yet, your finger still taps their profile. Why? Most people think it's because they're still in love. But psychology suggests something much deeper is happening. Your brain isn't always looking for your ex. Sometimes it's looking for certainty. Think about what happens after a breakup. Your relationship ends, but your questions don't. Do they ever think about me? Have they already moved on? Were they happier without me? Did I even matter? Your brain naturally wants answers. The problem is, social media feels like the easiest place to find them, except it almost never does. Instead, it gives your brain tiny pieces of information. One photo, one caption, one story, and then your imagination fills in everything else. One smiling picture becomes, they're happier without me. One person leaving a heart emoji suddenly becomes, they've found someone else. One vacation photo becomes, they're living their best life while I'm still stuck. But none of those conclusions actually come from the photo. They come from your brain trying to complete an unfinished story. And here's something even more interesting. The more emotionally attached you were, the more your brain pays attention to anything connected to that person. Psychologists know that emotionally important memories become easier to notice. So when you see your ex online, your brain immediately treats them as important information, even if you wish it wouldn't. That's why checking their profile can feel almost automatic. You aren't always making a conscious decision. Sometimes, you're simply following a habit your brain hasn't learned to break yet. Your brain also has another habit. It prefers what's familiar. Even if the relationship wasn't perfect, even if it ended painfully, your ex became part of your daily routine. You knew when they'd text. You knew their voice. You knew their habits. And when that suddenly disappears, your brain doesn't just lose a person, it loses a pattern. That's why loneliness often tricks people into checking an ex's profile. Not because they truly want the relationship back, but because their brain misses something that once felt familiar. There's another reason this habit becomes so difficult to break. It's called variable reward. Imagine pulling the lever on a slot machine. Most of the time, nothing happens. But every once in a while, you win. Social media works in a surprisingly similar way. Most times you check your ex's profile, nothing has changed. But occasionally, there's a new photo, a new story, a new comment, and your brain gets a tiny burst of curiosity. Who are they with? Where is that? What does that caption mean? That small reward teaches your brain to keep checking, not because it feels good, but because it might reveal something new. Ironically, the more often you check, the harder it becomes to move on. Every visit refreshes the emotional connection instead of allowing it to fade. It's like trying to let a wound heal while picking at it every day. Many people eventually realize something surprising. They weren't actually looking for their ex. They were looking for reassurance. Reassurance that they mattered, that they weren't forgotten, that the relationship meant something. But here's the truth. No social media profile can answer those questions because people rarely post loneliness. They don't upload regret. They don't share the nights they cried themselves to sleep. You're comparing your real, everyday life to the carefully edited moments someone chose to show the world. And that's never a fair comparison. So the next time you feel the urge to check their profile, pause for just a second. Ask yourself, what am I really hoping to find? Because sometimes your brain isn't searching for your ex. It's searching for peace. And peace is something you won't find by scrolling through someone else's life. You'll find it the moment you stop needing updates about theirs. That's when healing truly begins. Not when you stop remembering them, but when remembering them no longer controls what you do next. If this video helped you understand your own mind a little better, subscribe. Every week, we explore the hidden psychology behind the emotions, habits, and relationships that shape our lives. I'll see you in the next one.